Boom, and we're live. What's happening, beautiful people? Happy Monday, everyone. Do you know what sits at the bottom of the sea and twitches? A nervous wreck. Good morning, America. Good afternoon, Europe, and welcome everyone to our new live stream. Let me know how you're doing in the comments box below, guys, and if you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. How was your weekend, lovely people? Let me know how your weekend was. Let me know if you're struggling with anything, if you have any questions about financial markets, cryptocurrencies, or other forms of investments, and I'll do my best to help. Now, we start the week with a very, very quiet economic calendar, guys. Basically, nothing is being announced today. Therefore, the low volume on the markets, but things will start picking up tomorrow with the ZEW economic sentiment in the Eurozone, followed by an OPEC monthly report in the afternoon. And we also have the FOMC press conference starting right after the US markets open. Now let's get down to business, lovely people, and see what's happening in the markets today, Monday, 10th of May, 2021. After closing last week at record highs, the US stock markets are seen opening mixed today with the Dow Jones up 105 points. Pre-markets open, the S&P 500 pushed 3 points higher and the heavy Nasdaq dropped 36 points or 0.3%. The US jobs report on Friday showed only 266,000 jobs were created last month in the US versus an expectation of almost 1 million jobs. This move might push the Federal Reserve to tighten policy in order to curb an overheating economy. Crude oil WTI pushed higher today after a report that one of the biggest oil pipelines in America, Colonial Pipeline, was hacked by a ransomware cyber attack. Colonial has not given any public indication as to the reach of the ransomware outbreak, but Robert M. Lee, chief executive of cybersecurity firm Dragos, said he believed Colonial's operations network was shut down proactively to make sure that nothing will spread into those systems. Gold futures advanced on the back of a weak US dollar and the disappointing non-farm payroll numbers announced on Friday, trading today above the $1,800 mark. And everyone's favorite, guys, Bitcoin seems to be advancing slowly but surely, trading back to above $50,000 today. Ethereum seems to be the new growth champion, trading at over $4,000 today for the first time in its history. US markets open. Coming up.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades.
Right, beautiful people, I'm going to start with the economic calendar today. Let's have a quick look at the economic calendar and see what's expected to happen and why is today so quiet, guys. So, as you see in the economic calendar, let me zoom in a bit so you get a better view. There we go. There's the economic calendar. Right, nothing is really happening today. We have some net positions being announced, but nothing is really happening. We had the Halifax house price index coming out at 1.4% from the United Kingdom, and the house price index year over year standing at 8.2%. But this is basically it in the economic calendar. Now, tomorrow, as I was saying, it's going to start picking up. We're going to have the German ZEW current conditions for the month of May and the economic sentiment as well. We're going to have the economic sentiment for May in the Eurozone and an OPEC monthly report, as I was saying a minute ago. In the afternoon, guys, it starts getting a bit busier with a lot of FOMC members holding a press conference and hopefully giving everyone a direction for the US economy and the US dollar for the week. On Wednesday, things start picking up. We're going to have a big day for the pound on Wednesday. We see a lot of announcements. The gross domestic product quarterly and year over year will be announced. We're going to see the industrial production being announced, the manufacturing production, trade balance, and the trade balance for non-EU countries for March. All coming from the United Kingdom on Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock. GMT plus 3, we're going to have Governor Bailey from Bank of England holding a press conference at 12 o'clock GMT plus 3. And then we're going to have more announcements. We're going to have industrial production in the Eurozone, guys, which is very important. And in the afternoon, we're going to have the core consumer price index, the crude oil inventories and the Cushing crude oil inventories, of course, like every Wednesday. We're going to have the federal budget balance, which is very, very important, and it will be announced on Wednesday at 2100 hours GMT plus 3. On Thursday, guys, we're going to have a holiday in Switzerland, in Singapore, and in India. Okay, God knows India deserves a break, guys. And we're going to have the initial jobless claims being announced on the US dollar, along with the producer price index and the core producer price index. Right, and we're going to close the week strong, hopefully, with a few announcements on the US dollar in the afternoon at 3:30, 1 hour ahead of the US markets open. We're going to have a couple of announcements from Canada as well. I'm very curious to see the import and export price index and the retail sales on Friday, and I'm sure many traders will keep an eye on the same announcements. As you see on Friday, it's all about the US dollar in the afternoon, and then we're going to close the week with the speculative net positions like every other week. Right, this is it, guys. This is it in the economic calendar. If we have a quick look at the earnings calendar, because why not? The earnings season is still ongoing. We can see some big names announcing pre-US markets open today. We saw Tyson Foods announcing earlier on 134 a share versus an expectation of 115. Right now, tomorrow, guys, we're gonna have again a few more names announcing. We're gonna still have a few more names announcing after the closing bell today on the US trading session. Okay, on Wednesday again we have three big names reporting. And on Thursday, we're going to have Walt Disney, guys. Walt Disney is reporting on Thursday. We're looking at an expectation of earnings per share of 0.2707 cents. And also BT Group is reporting as well. We're looking at earnings per share at 0.06 cents and 23. Okay, versus a forecast of 5.26 billion. Okay, this is it. Slowly but surely, the earnings season is fading away. But for the stock traders, there's still a lot going on, guys. If you don't like currency pairs, if you don't want to trade commodities or indices, then why not have a quick look at stocks? It's still worth trading. Now, let's take exactly 30 seconds and then we're going to come back live with some interesting articles today. And then we're going to move on to the charts of the day and the signals of the day, of course.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Right, and we're back, beautiful people. As I was telling you when we started the broadcast a few minutes ago, there has been a big hack, a ransomware hack over the weekend on the biggest pipeline that goes across the United States. Knowns and unknowns about the hack at Colonial Pipeline is the article today. It was released by Reuters some 12 hours ago, but it's still fresh. So let's have a quick look and see what happened over the weekend. Ransom-seeking hackers have broken into Colonial Pipeline, prompting the company to shut one of America's major arteries for fuel delivery. Here is a look at what we know and what we don't know about one of the most disruptive digital shakedown efforts to hit a U.S. company. Now, Alpharetta, Georgia-based Colonial Pipeline, and the U.S. government have both blamed ransomware for the massive outage, pointing the finger at cybercriminal gangs who routinely hold data and computer networks hostage in exchange for digital currency payments. There is no official word on which group is believed to have carried out the intrusion, and attributing malicious activity online can be extremely difficult, but a former U.S. official and 3 industry sources told Reuters a group dubbed Dark Side was among the suspects. If so, they would lay the responsibility on a new but professional group of criminals believed to be operating out of the former Soviet republics. Right. Guys, hold on a minute. Why was I 99.9% sure this article will mention Russia? Why was that? Okay, now let's move on. Right, how bad is it? Is the question. Ransomware can deal catastrophic damage to an organization network by locking away critical data or even wrecking computers beyond repair. But the effect on the actual nuts and bolts of energy companies' operations varies. Now, this is where it gets very, very interesting, and that's why I want to highlight this article. A destructive cyber attack on Saudi Aramco in 2012 crippled the oil giant's computer network but left production more or less unchanged. By contrast, a more recent ransomware incident at Norsk Hydro temporarily pushed the aluminum maker to switch away from automated production at its smelters. So experts say the severity of the Colonial case will depend on whether the ransomware made its way into the company's operation and technology network, which interfaces with the pipeline itself. Earlier this year, the US government officials announced that an intrusion at an unnamed natural gas compression plant that spilled over into its operational technology network forced a two-day shutdown of its entire pipeline. Colonial has not given any public indication as to the reach of the ransomware outbreak, but Robert M. Lee, chief executive of cybersecurity firm Dragos, said he believed Colonial's operations network was shut down proactively to make sure that nothing spread into those systems. Right, very, very interesting what's happening. We're going to keep an eye on the news and we're going to keep you posted with the latest news as soon as we get them, guys, from reliable sources such as Reuters, Investing.com, and many, many others. Now, let's see what is happening in the markets today, what is expected from the US markets at the open, and why not what's expected from commodities, indices, and stocks, guys. The US stocks are seen opening mixed today while crude prices rise in the wake of a cyber attack on the largest US gasoline pipe. Now, we saw the Dow futures contract up 105 points or 0.3% earlier on pre-markets open. S&P traded 0.1% higher and the Nasdaq dropped 0.3%. The Dow Jones and the S&P 500 closed at record highs on Friday, and these indices are expected to open higher today. Let's see if that's correct, as investors seek out value stocks following Friday's unexpectedly weak April jobs report. There we go. There's the number, guys. These are the numbers. A lot of red for the jobs report. I held back from believing we're going to see 1 million jobs in just a month. And there we go. I was right. Now, the tech-heavy Nasdaq composite is seen opening lower, with the mega-cap tech stocks struggling to move higher from already advanced levels despite generally strong quarterly earnings. Additionally, the benchmark 10-year US Treasury yields edged up toward the 160% as traders brace for a busy week of auctions. Oil prices strengthened and gasoline futures hit a 3-year high today after a ransomware attack caused at Colonial Pipeline. I'm not going to go into it. Some smaller lines were restarted on Sunday, but Colonial has given no timeline for the restart of its main pipelines. How much you want to bet the ransomware wants cryptocurrency, guys? This is the most plausible coin, of exchange where that hackers usually go for. All right, more on crude oil. U.S. crude futures traded 0.5% higher, around $65.22 a barrel, and the Brent contract rose 0.6% to $68.69. While gasoline futures on the New York Mercantile Exchange rose 1.4%, trading at $2.1562 a gallon, climbing to the highest level since May 2018 before paring gains. Right, this is what's happening. This is what's expected to happen today, guys. I'm gonna make you a deal as usual. We're gonna take an exactly 30-second break, and then we're gonna come back live with some stocks, guys, and let's see how the markets are expected to open today. We're exactly 15 minutes away from the US markets open in this beautiful Monday, 10th of May, 2021. We're coming back live in 30 seconds. Right, and we're back, beautiful people. Let's have a quick look at some stocks and see how analysts at investing.com see the markets opening and what happened with these lovely stocks pre-market open. Okay, FireEye stock rose 4.4%, SolarWinds rose 1.5%, and Palo Alto Networks and CrowdStrike were both up 1%, with cybersecurity firms in demand following the ransomware attack on Colonial Pipeline. Coty stock fell 4.1% after the cosmetics company reported a drop in the third quarter revenue of 3.3% as sales of its beauty products were pressured by COVID-19 lockdowns. Marriott International stock fell 2.4% after the hotel chain posted a quarterly loss as a pandemic-driven collapse in travel resulted in fewer bookings. Johnson & Johnson, guys, and I'm very interested about this news. Johnson & Johnson rose 0.3% after Germany announced it will make the drug maker's COVID-19 vaccine available to all adults. Very good, very smart move. BioNTech still rose 8.7% after the German vaccine developer beat estimates on both the top and the bottom lines for the first quarter of 2021, and also announced it was building a production site in Singapore to help the global supply of its mRNA-based COVID-19 vaccine. Now, let's see what else is happening. Tyson Foods stock rose 0.9%. Lovely people after the meat processor beat second quarter revenue estimates, benefiting from strong demand for its chicken products from reopened restaurants and hotels across the country. Tesla fell 0.8% after the electric car manufacturer raised the price of its Model 3 sedan in China from Saturday, citing cost fluctuations. Right, and Oracle, guys, the last but not the least, fell 0.9% pre-markets open today after Barclays downgraded its stance on the software company to equal from overweight, saying the stock's comeback has gone far enough. Right, so for stock lovers, we have quite a few stocks you can have a look at, guys. Once again, let's not forget that the earnings season is still ongoing. It's going to start easing off, towards the end of the week and probably next week, but it's still ongoing. It still provides good opportunities for traders. Now, let's have a quick look at the charts of the day, guys, and see how the most traded assets performed throughout the week, and more importantly, how they did today and what's expected to happen from here on. Now, for newcomers, for beginner traders, guys, we're looking at the charts on a 1 hour chart, which means that every candlestick, green or red, represents 1 hour, exactly 60 minutes. So every candlestick will fluctuate for 60 minutes, and it will close at a different price, higher or lower. Therefore, these spikes that you see on the charts. Right. Now, we saw crude oil WTI opening higher on the Asian trading session yesterday or last night. Sunday at midnight, guys, around midnight, depending on where you are in the world. You're going to have Australia opening, and we saw crude oil pushing a bit higher, jumping a bit higher. However, it's ranging ever since. We're looking at $65.32 this afternoon for crude oil WTI. We're looking at RSI not being able to making it into the overbought levels. We're looking at stochastic pointing downwards. Meanwhile, the price is supported by that 50 moving average, indicating a potential movement towards the upside. So very, very important to see what's going to happen after the US markets open. Now, where are we? There we are. Now, last week, guys. Last week we saw crude oil WTI moving downwards, pushing downwards. Bear with me for a second. There we go. This is the movement that happened last week throughout the week. Ups and downs, but mostly downs. We saw a retest of that 200 moving average on the 7th. And crude oil WTI started trading a bit higher after the Asian markets open. Now, let's move on to the most traded currency pair in the world, guys, which is the euro versus the US dollar. And if we look at how the euro moved throughout the week last week, there we go, guys. I think it's clear for everyone. Bear with me for a second. Let me adjust these colors. There we go. Yeah. So this is what happened with the euro, guys. It got a hell of a boost on Friday once the non-farm payroll data came out. It was disappointing, but once again, a million jobs expected when the situation is still not green in the United States. Okay, it's a bit too optimistic if you ask me. So this was the performance the euro had throughout the week. Last week, very little movement since the Asian Open last night. 121.65 this afternoon. We can see, I'm tempted to say a double top there. Yeah, you can see both structures basically closed at the same level. And there's something apparently preventing the exchange rate to go higher. Let's see what's going to happen after the US markets open today. We see the RSI pointing downwards. We see stochastic turning around as we speak. So probably with a bit more volume on the markets, we're going to get a clear indication. Now, it's not unheard of or unusual to see a correction happening. Okay, and the price might come down to test the 50 moving average, or if you look towards the left hand side, guys, there we go. Yeah, we can see the price has a very interesting support level at 121.28 on these charts. Okay, so don't be surprised if you're going to see a retest. Maybe you can see a false breakout, or worst case scenario, you can see a retest of that 200 moving average to the downside towards the 120.78 or 120.75. Okay, after the tremendous rally that the euro had starting when was it? Starting the 5th at 2200 hours. So that was last Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Right, let's move on. Let's have a quick look at the pound, guys. There we go. Same thing can be said about the pound. Mind you, throughout the week, last week, we saw the pound ranging quite a lot. Nothing was basically happening with the pound. Okay, we saw the markets closing higher, and since then, okay, we saw the pound trading higher and higher and higher. We're looking at 141.39 this afternoon with a red candlestick opening pre-US markets open. We see the RSI way into the overbought territories. There we go. Okay, so a correction from the RSI could be expected at least somewhere in that region, yeah, around the 50% mark. Okay, and from there on, if you're going to see a bounce from the 50% RSI, then probably the uptrend will continue. We're looking at stochastic, guys, again, turning around from overbought levels and pointing downwards. So once again, in cases like this, it's not unheard of. It's actually very plausible, yeah, and very possible to see a retest to the downside, yeah, to either that 50 MA or that 200 moving average. Okay, somewhere there in those regions. But we're gonna get a clear indication once the US markets open, which is in exactly 5-6 minutes from now. USD JPY, on the other hand, we see the US dollar falling below the 200 moving average, trading at 108.72 with the RSI somewhere in between, not making it to the overbought or the oversold levels. We see stochastic pointing downwards, and if we put these three together along with the candlesticks formation, then we might see a continuation of the downtrend for the US dollar. Anyway, that 200 moving average at the top acts like resistance, so quite a bit of resistance for the price to push higher. 108.70 as we speak. Let's see what's going to happen in less than 5 minutes from now at the US markets open. The Aussie dollar, just like the European currencies, guys, the euro and the pound. Right, sorry, I have to apologize. The UK is not part of the European Union anymore. So just like the euro, the non-euro country, the pound and the Aussie dollar move together, tend to move in the same directions. 0.7885 for the Aussie dollar versus the US dollar this afternoon. The RSI is somewhere around 70%, okay, which is the overbought level. We're looking at stochastic turning around. Let's see what's going to happen. Overall, it's a good sign for the Aussie dollar. Yeah, and if we were to draw a line from left to right, guys, and unite these tops that we see, okay, we can see the markets creating a new high. We can see the markets literally penetrating that ceiling and establishing higher. So in times like this, probably traders will eye for something like that. The 0.80 level is very interesting. Okay. Now, before we get there, a correction might be expected. Yeah, after a few good hours of pushing higher, there has to be some profit taking somewhere. So many traders will probably take out profits, okay, causing a bit of a meltdown in the price. Right, moving on. USD Cad, beautiful people. There we go. Big downtrend for the USD versus the Canadian dollar. Okay, we're looking at the RSI at the bottom of the chart, literally crawling into the oversold levels, holding on to the oversold levels for dear life. We're looking at stochastic turning around, beautiful people, which usually is a big indication of a downtrend. And if you look at the charts, yeah, it's not rocket science. It's very easy to understand that once the price falls below the 200 MA and below the 50 MA, then we're looking at a strong downtrend. 120.93 this afternoon, less than 3-4 minutes ahead of the US markets open for the USD Cad. Let's see if it's going to open with a big bang or not. Quick look at the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, which closed the day on Friday at record highs, guys. Look at this, 4,230, 469 for the S&P, and look at the Dow Jones, people, 34,887.67 for the Dow Jones. It looks like a positive opening. There we go. If I'm checking out the charts on a 1 hour chart. But let's allow the markets another couple of minutes, and then we're going to make sure the markets are open. Meanwhile, we're looking at the US dollar index, lovely people, which just like the USD Cad is in a downtrend. 90.037 for the US dollar index this afternoon, with both the RSI and the stochastic way into the oversold levels. We might see a continuation of this downtrend, people. Let's see. Keep an eye on the US markets open. Keep an eye on the news that comes from the United States. And that will give you a very good understanding, a very good idea on where the US dollar is heading. But what do we know, guys? When the US dollar drops, what happens with gold? There we go, guys. This is the perfect correlation. $1,845.10 as we speak for gold futures. Okay, with the RSI at the overbought levels, with the stochastic at the overbought levels. Okay, very good. I'm tempted to say US markets opening unless the time on my computer is different. Okay, let's see. Let's give it 2 more minutes, guys. I don't want to jump the gun. Okay, but one thing is certain. When the US dollar index goes down, gold futures go up. A very easy trade for beginner traders. Mind you, indices, guys, indices and commodities tend to have a different leverage, different margin requirements. So if you're beginner traders and you're looking to trade anything else but currency pairs, which is the cheapest asset class out there, please make sure you understand how commodities trade, what are the requirements, what's the leverage, and same for indices. But I think it's crystal clear that we have a negative correlation between the US dollar and gold. Now, moving on, we're looking at Brent oil futures. Brent oil, the European oil or the UK oil, $68.89. 1 minute ahead of the US markets open. Again, we saw a positive opening on the Asian trading session, and that was followed by a ranging market. The charts are identical, guys. There's only a few dollars price difference between crude oil WTI and Brent oil, but the charts tend to be identical. Now, we see the price well supported by that 50 moving average. We see the price well supported by the 200 moving average. So there is potential to the upside with a bit of help from traders, with a bit of help from institutional traders after the US markets open today. Then we might see Brent oil and crude oil WTI trading a bit higher. Now, quick look at the Bitcoin, lovely people, which gained quite a bit. We're looking at an uptrend overall after the steep drop that happened on the 13th of April, last month. Bitcoin started recovering on the 25th, a few days ago, and we're looking at an uptrend. The price is well supported by the 200 and the 50 MA. And if I was to draw a diagonal line and create a trend channel, this is how a trend channel looks like. Then we are looking at an uptrend, and the price seems to be bouncing between these two diagonal lines, the trend channel lines. So in times like this, traders tend to buy when the price is low. Yeah, so buy after a drop like this. As long as the candlesticks keep creating higher highs and higher lows, then there is very, very likely for a continuation, of the uptrend. Once again, $57,763 this afternoon for Bitcoin, which started dropping a few hours ago. Yeah, we can see quite a few red candlesticks, but nothing to be worried about just yet. It's normal, it's natural. We're looking at a retest of that 200 MA, very likely, and from there on, we might see a bounce to the upside, once again targeting the $60,000 mark. Unbelievable what is happening with the Bitcoin. Right, what about Dogecoin? We have some questions, guys. Thank you so much for your questions. Type your questions, and towards the end, I'll do my best to answer every single one of them, and then we can look at your favorite assets as well. Meanwhile, I have a great news on Ethereum, guys. Ethereum seems to be the new Bitcoin, 4,131. Well, it was just a second ago, 4,130. Let's round it up. Dollars for Ethereum, which is in a clear uptrend. We can see the moment when Ethereum absolutely broke all the records and started an amazing uptrend, which hasn't stopped since. Right, RSI pointing upwards, stuck in an uptrend. Stochastic pointing upwards, stuck in an uptrend. Ethereum, guys, seems to be doing much better than the good almighty Bitcoin. Who would have thought that a few months ago? Who would have thought that? Right, now, Dogecoin. Let's have a quick look at Dogecoin US dollar. There we go. Right, what is happening with Dogecoin? Right, on Binance, 0.50, 24.30 for Dogecoin. We can see the price, if technical analysis makes any sense on a decentralized asset as cryptocurrencies. Okay, we can see the price falling below that 200 moving average. We can see a dead cross to be formed, okay, between the 50 and the 200 moving average, and that usually means, okay, big selling power. The price got rejected by the 50 moving average, by the yellow line. Yeah, the price moved below the red line, so there is a bit of hope, unfortunately, yeah, for the downside for the Dogecoin. Let me try and check something else. There we go. Yeah, okay. So the same price, same movement for Dogecoin. Now, I hope this answers your question. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of what Elon Musk is doing recently. I mean, I would be a fan if he wouldn't own any cryptocurrencies. Then it's just an opinion, and who cares? But considering he owns a lot of cryptocurrency, yeah, and he made public one. Yeah, God knows how his portfolio looks like. I personally see it as market manipulation. You can call it however you want, but when a person owns an asset, yeah, when a person with great influence owns an asset and goes public and tells you what he thinks about the asset, what he's planning to do about the asset, that I think goes in the books as market manipulation, and it shouldn't be allowed. But it's not up to me to decide. It's up to me just to skip forward. It's up to the Security and Exchange Commission yet to decide how normal this is in 2021. Now, let's move on. We see the US markets opened. Let's have a quick look at the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. Right, there we go, lovely people. We see the S&P opening to the downside, 4228.15 this afternoon for the S&P. Stochastic is pointing downwards sharply, so I'm afraid to see what's going to happen. We might see a retest of that 200 MA to the downside at 4202. Keep an eye on that level, and we take it from there. Quick look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, guys, which opened to the upside today, 34,955.99. Okay, we are looking at a new world record, for the Dow Jones Industrial Average for the upside. Okay, going very close to the 35,000 mark. Amazing opening. Now, let's have a quick look at the NASDAQ, people. Let's see how the NASDAQ opened. There we go, NASDAQ Composite. Boom. Open to the downside, 13,604.97 for NASDAQ, and the price fell below the 200 moving average. Now, there's one thing that I've noticed here, which is the gap that has just been filled. Okay, and I've noticed something else, a gap that was left there at the US markets open a few minutes ago. So this might lead some traders thinking that the gaps will be filled. Usually that's the case. That's what's happening, guys, and you can do your own research, your own analysis. Now let's see where the Nasdaq is heading to, because I'm getting a bit worried. I see the price fell below the 200 moving average on the 1 hour chart, and I also see this dead cross being formed there by the 50 and the 200 moving average. So it's very, very interesting to see how low the Nasdaq will go. I'm just gonna increase the time frame to a 4 hour chart. There we go. Yeah, where I can spot the 200 moving average. So the best bet you can make right now, is the previous low, okay, which is there, is the 200 MA, which is there. And if the price will fall below that 200 moving average on a 4 hour chart, guys, then I personally will start getting worried. But let's hope that is not the case. Okay, so negative opening for the Nasdaq this afternoon, positive opening for the Dow Jones, and negative opening for the S&P 500. Okay, there is still hope for the S&P 500. We saw the S&P 500 ranging quite a lot in the last few days. The earnings season is still ongoing, so God knows what's going to happen. Now, let's have a quick look at Tesla, guys, and see what is happening with Tesla. There we go. This is what traders think about Tesla today. They are on the sell side of things, $654.81 for Tesla. Okay, we're looking at Tesla reaching the most recent lows, and if we increase the time frame a bit, we're gonna notice again that dead cross that was formed by the 50 and the 200 moving average. And who knows, in times like this, traders might move their take profits to the downside, okay, to the previous lows, which are somewhere there. 535 is the worst case scenario, let's say, and 600 flat is the worst case scenario, but the best case scenario, short term. Right, this is it, guys. This is what's happening with the markets. Quick look at crude oil WTI a few minutes after the US markets open. Again, we see a lot of sell positions, but don't jump the gun. We see the gap, okay, that was left there from closing on Friday evening to opening on Sunday evening. We see this gap being filled right now. Let's see what's going to happen. If we're going to see the price dropping below 65.07, somewhere there, then okay, we might be looking for more downturns in the crude oil WTI. Right, who wants the signals of the day? Put your hands up, put your hands up. Right, Papa Musk. Yes, I know. I am not the nicest guy when it comes to that. But guys, I'm trying to look after you. It's all about market manipulation. It's all about things that shouldn't be happening, in a fair trading world. But more about this in 30 seconds. We're coming back live with the signals of the day. And this is it. Stay tuned.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
And we're back with the signals of the day, guys. A few minutes after the US markets open. Don't forget, the markets need at least half an hour to 1 hour to balance the volumes, the buy and the sell positions, and then probably we're gonna get a direction. Monday is not always the best day to trade unless the charts really show you something that is worth keeping an eye on. Now we're looking at Euro USD on a 5-minute chart, guys, with a strong sell indication after the US markets open. The daily remains a strong buy though, so there is a bit of hope on the continuation of the downtrend of the US dollar and continuation of the uptrend of the euro. Remember what I told you a few minutes ago, a correction is expected after such a rally, and considering it's just Monday, okay, America will try and counteract any movements, any big shake-offs that happened on the European trading session today. Right, we see a shy sell position on the pound versus the US dollar with 3 strong buy indications, guys. we might want to wait a bit longer and see if we get clear indication, clear signals. Okay, neutral on a 5-minute chart for USD JPY. Strong sell on a 15 minutes and hourly. Nothing is really happening just yet. USD CHF, strong buy indication with the hourly and daily remaining a strong sell. So a lot of mixed signals. Okay, we're looking at strong sell on the Aussie dollar, which again, just like the euro, is probably trying to correct a bit after the fantastic rally that it had today. And on Friday as well, after the catastrophic, I wouldn't call them catastrophic, but they weren't really nice anyway, the NFP numbers. I mean, come on, an expectation of 1 million in just a month is a bit too good to be true. Right, we're looking at the Kiwi Dollar, guys, with a strong sell after the US markets open, with a daily and hourly remaining a strong buy. So currency pairs are very mixed today. Okay, clear indication seems to be coming from the GBP CHF pair, which indicates 3 strong buy on a 5-minute, 15 minutes, and hourly with the daily remaining neutral. Let me just kill that hamburger there, because we don't do junk food, guys. We are militating for a healthy lifestyle. Not right. Okay. Let's have a quick look at commodities this afternoon. Gold and silver with gold with 4 buy indications, strong buy indications. There we go, guys. There we go. The charts only needed my touch to change. Strong buy indications on all 4 time frames for gold and silver. We're looking at copper, which is pulling back today with 3 sell and strong sell positions, followed by a strong buy on a daily chart. Crude oil, WTI, and Brent oil are pulling back. Today, natural gas is in red, US wheat is in red with 3 strong sell indications. Now, let's go back to, let's have a quick look at Wall Street indices. Yeah, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500. Let's see what's expected to happen shortly after the open. Strong sell for the Nasdaq 100, guys. Strong sell for the S&P 500 after the positive open. And 4 strong buy indications for Dow Jones, followed by 4 strong sell for the big Nasdaq, and the Russell 2000, the small cap 2000, once again is pointing to the downside. Okay, the Dow Jones seems to be doing tremendously well. The DJ Transportation, DJ Utility, and the DJ Composite all indicate 4 strong buy on all 4 time frames. Okay, and as we move to the bottom of the chart, we're looking at the small S&P. Okay, we're looking at the S&P 100 again with 4 strong buy indications, and the small cap Russell 2000 NR with 4 strong buy indications. Right, this is it, guys. This is what's happening on the markets on this beautiful Monday, 10th of May 2021. Right, between you and me speaking, not a lot is happening, but this doesn't mean you couldn't take advantage of some assets that will move today and could bring you some profits. Now, we started broadcasting longer in a few days. We're going to start the broadcast at the European markets open, which is early in the morning, and we're going to keep it going till after the US markets open. We're going to have more guests. We're going to have a lot of things happening. So, welcome to the new streaming format, guys. And join me again tomorrow, same time, same place, for a new round of market talks. This is it. Until then.